Look at this. Estate sale find. Awesome. Warranted superior. Now, as a saw, this one has lived its life. It's got a cracked handle. Teeth are dull. Some of them are chipped. But this is a lot of excellent steel. Probably 15 and 20 or something to that nature. And we can use that to make something completely new. Let's use all this good steel to make a new fillet knife. This last bolt's definitely a replacement. It looks like they peened it over, so we're gonna have to grind that off. This is a really cool pin. Got some options. Option 1, stick the steel in the forge, soften it up so I can take this to the bandsaw, very easily cut out my blade shape, and then have to reheat treat the blade to get it hardened. So right now this steel is perfectly hard and perfectly straight. From experience, when you are working with steel this thin, getting a good heat treat and keeping it straight is no easy task whatsoever. It can be done with basic tools, but it's not an easy thing to do. This has been heat treated. It's essentially the same steel, but it's from a larger saw blade, but it is a bit thicker and it's also a lot wider stock. And you can see that while the blade is perfectly straight, the handle a little bit wonky. So I don't doubt that I can do it, but I know from experience that it takes a couple tries to get done right, and it can just be a headache. So I think with this, I'm going to maintain the current heat treatment on this. I'm going to work it, and I'm going to have to make sure I do not ruin the temper, keeping the temperatures down. And I'll cut out with an angle grinder on the back. That's going to heat it up wherever you hit with the angle grinder. It's going to heat the steel up and ruin it. So I'm going to come off my template a bit with the cut, and then I'll come back in and I'll make sure when I'm grinding, I'm just keeping it in water, keeping those temps low. side down, one side to go. I must say, a knife this thin and this long, it's no easy task freehand grinding and keeping these bevels nice and even. But take your time, keep it dipped in the water so you don't ruin the temper, and you'll get the job done. Bevels are complete on this knife. They've been roughed in with a 36 grit sandpaper. Coming with a 400 grit sandpaper, I'm just going to polish out the bevels a little bit, and then I'm also going to start removing all of this scale, make this thing a bit more shiny. I'm done with that 400 grit belt on the sander. You can see that I've left on some of the patina. However, there was some surface rust and that's all been removed. And from now I'm going to come in and do the final finish. For this I'm going to use the Dremel with this sandpaper attachment. And as I go with this, it will kind of give it this striated look, the striated polishing look that I really dig. It will also help blend all the lines and clean it up. So I'm going to get started with that and you'll see when it's done. Final finish is complete. Love it. It's got this antique look to it. A little bit of belt finish, but it's been polished. You can see the striated lines on here. They really just glisten in the light. Love the look of it. Doesn't look brand new. Looks like it's been around the block, but it also looks like it's ready for use. And check this out. I mean, this is almost at a zero edge. The thickness behind the edges is very thin. However, you take even a hard piece of wood like this black walnut, it's gonna be so slicey once you get an actual edge on this. And then the steel on this is just incredible. I mean, and there's not a single mark on this blade. It is going to rip through fish. It's not even sharp yet. I mean, this is completely dull. I've got the holes drilled out for the handle of this fillet knife, and this brown canvas micarta, I think it's going to match the aesthetic, the worn, weathered look of this knife really well. So off to the bandsaw and get these scales cut out. The handle on this fillet knife is completed. Love how it turned out. Gonna give it a satin finish on this canvas micarta. It is going to last forever. Completely impervious to all those fish juices it's gonna see and moisture. And it just has this nice retro look to it. Beautiful. Time to put the edge on this knife. Last step for me is to scrap. Actually, this is a walnut handle. What I'll do is I'll just come do a quick slice to remove the burr, and then start scraping. That'll do.